An organization in Downingtown has a mission to reach every ear. The group of young volunteers works to destigmatize hearing loss and help other people who are deaf or hard of hearing to overcome their day-to-day challenges living in a hearing world. Its founder, Yaduraj is an 11th grader at the Downingtown STEM Academy. NBC10's Tracy Davidson recently talked to him about his mission to help kids with hearing loss connect and thrive.
Yaduraj, thanks so much for being here. I met you at the Leadership Awards, the Widener University NBC10 Leadership Awards. I was so inspired by your story. Tell me about your organization that you started. It's called Three Tiny Bones. It works to remove the stigma of hearing loss. What does Three Tiny Bones signify?
Inside the ear, there are three tiny bones, the three tiniest bones in the human body, but some of the most important. The stapes, incus, and malleus. These three tiny bones are super important. They're how we hear. And the name stuck. It was pretty catchy. We all liked it. And that's how Three Tiny Bones got its name.
You clearly know a lot about hearing. Why did you start this organization?
Sure. So I was born with hearing loss, and I went through a lot of hardships and difficulties in my hearing loss journey. I underwent 4 surgeries at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia in elementary school to help correct my hearing loss. And then eventually I started wearing a hearing aid right here in my right ear. And with my journey through hearing loss, the difficulties including missing hundreds of hours due to surgeries, appointments, checkups, all the like. There was also bullying and teasing because of me wearing a hearing aid. I actually tried to grow my hair long at one point, if you can imagine that, to try to hide my hearing aid. But after a while, I became more self-confident, and I realized the issue wasn't me. The issue was that we just hadn't educated kids enough about hearing loss. They only assumed that I was deaf, or really they did not know what was going on. So I realized at that point that I had to do something to educate kids and communities about hearing loss.
You also talk about the importance of learning sign language, not just in the hearing loss community, but for people who don't have hearing loss. Why?
Learning sign language is a really essential and important way to communicate with those who might be deaf or those who might have that degree of hearing loss where it becomes necessary. Because, of course, our mission and what we should strive to do as a society is be more inclusive, be more accepting. And if by learning sign language you're able to communicate more effectively, you're able to include more people, then that's really a great thing to do.
And you also offer support for school children who have hearing loss. I imagine that support means so much to a young person.
It does, right. So I actually did not get to be a part of, a community of kids with hearing loss when I was younger. And now looking back, that's one of the principal reasons we started an initiative like that, was so, kids can talk about their experiences, talk about, the challenges of hearing loss, or just simple tips like carrying a hearing aid battery around, which is something I myself learned after a couple of times my hearing aid died on me. So that's something we do. And I think it's very important to be able to see that you're not alone. There are other kids just like you, and we're all here to help you get through this whole hearing loss experience.
Well, Yaduraj, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with your mission and with your organization. I expect you'll be doing some great things in the future.
Thank you.
For a link to Three Tiny Bones, just go to NBC10.com/findit on 10.